Welcome to GBIRL, the podcast looking at the real business world of esports, gaming, and streaming with the people and personalities behind it all. Here is your host, Bill the Conqueror.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. I am very fortunate to be in a very active clan for the game that I play Destiny 2. They're called the Fundament. They're full of lots of awesome people, and you see one of them on the screen right there. She is CrzyT, and what prompted me to reach out to you, CrzyT, is that two things. One, you have this raid call out system that I'm like, oh, that's like some S tier thinking that only certain Fundament clan members can actually hang with. It's like, well, you know what? If I want to up my game as a guardian, then I need to get on your raid team. And the second thing is, I wanted to get your perspective as a mom, as a mom who streams. I think that's an interesting thought process because the perception is that content creators and full-time streamers are single people. They might have a significant other, but families and streaming as a full-time thing don't normally fit together. But we'll get to that. So T, thank you very much for making time for me today. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.
So let's start off with the whole raid thing. It's one of those things I'm like, why would you call the 4 boxes in Deepstone Crypt like banana, Pokemon, school bus, and I mean, what is that? Please help me understand, please.
Okay, I think I had to raid with I didn't have to raid. I also have a stream team Ahamkara, and I was lucky to get on Butter's team. And so we were in the third encounter, right. Tanics. Right. And he's like, here's the call outs. I was like, apple, banana, alligator, rectangle. Like, what? He's like, trust me, it works. And it's like an actual image with an apple, banana, right. like alligator, and a rectangle. Right. And it went so smoothly because in previous raids, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, my 1, 2, 3, 4 goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, my 1, 2 goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, mine goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So right. What? But apple, banana, alligator, rectangle, stuck. And so one time I was raiding with Haterade and I just wanted to fuck with him. Just completely fuck with him. So I had a couple people on my side who I had the call outs to. So we're going. I was like, all right, scanner. Okay, it is alligator rectangle. And Haterade's like, what the fuck? So it was mostly just to fuck with Haterade.
Got it. And that's totally fair because one of the hallmarks of a good raid fire team is how much you can screw with each other and still get the encounter done, right?
Correct. He tried to throw. He literally put the ball in the wrong thing just to throw on purpose. So he would grab the ball just to throw. And we still finished that encounter despite, how many efforts he tried against us.
Well, that's a very Haterade thing to do. If he's being trolled, fine, I'll just troll you back even harder because that's nothing to work. And so how did... I guess that sort of leads me to the next question. Is how did you get involved with the Fundament?
I met Haterade through Instagram, believe it or not.
Well, okay, so I will say, totally honestly, Haterade is a pretty good looking dude. I mean, if you found him on Instagram, right?
Yeah, I found him on Instagram. I was trying to get in close knit with more Destiny 2 content creators. Right. And that's how we met. And then we came to each other's streams. And then I was still on Xbox. He had PC already. So I was streaming. This is how I got my PC. I streamed and every single donation sub bit went to my PC parts. Right. So then several months later, I finally got a PC and played with him. And then him and and then that's how I met J-Man. Right. And then him and J-Man decided to start their own clan because we were in a clan together, off-world, 7 Seas off-world. And then they were going in a different direction. So they went start their own clan, and that's when they invited me.
Okay. Got it. And so you started on Xbox. You saved your money, which you don't hear a lot of people saving their money and like reaching their goals because something always happens. So when you're streaming on Xbox, and as far as your personal life at that point, did you have your kids then? Were you married then or anything?
Was I think I was like together off and on. It was like a long distance relationship when I started actually streaming, and I was working full time on a cardiac unit at a hospital. So yeah,
Wow.
I had a boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, long distance. I had 3 kids and full time at a hospital while streaming.
How does How does that work? How do you not go insane?
Hence the name CrzyT in my asylum.
Right.
I don't know how to answer that question fully, but like I literally had like no days off.
Right.
Zip, zero, zilch days off.
How do you manage to grow a stream, have a family with 3 kids? It's hard enough to have 1, and 2 makes it even harder, but 3, and I would wager, I mean, they were probably fairly young kids, right?
In like grade school. I think my oldest just turned 12 this year.
Okay, so you have 3 kids all under 12, and they're all handfuls, they're all full of energy, and they all want your attention all the time, because that's how children are. So here's a good question. How do you set boundaries for yourself, for your kids, for your life in general? Because if you're working in a cardiac unit, that's a lot of stress. You're raising 3 kids, that's a lot of stress. You're also like eating and paying bills, and I don't know, maybe once every couple days, like sleeping or something, right? I mean,
every few days sleep. Yeah, that's one thing that I made sure I scheduled was my sleep.
Okay.
I am absolute ass if I don't get like 8, 9, 10 hours of sleep.
Wow. Okay. So back to the question: How did you set those boundaries for yourself? Because I would wager the first couple times you tried to set up some structure that it maybe didn't fit, right?
It didn't. They'd be like, Mom, they would come in. I would have to. It's not that hard. Like they're like they know how to wipe their own ass. So at least there's that.
Okay.
So mostly it was just get them food. But then I decided to stream while they were at school.
Okay.
So that way I didn't have that distraction, or me and their dad are separated, so I had them halftime.
Right.
So I would stream when I didn't have them, like even after work. So I had my 12-hour shift. I redid my face and my hair, and I would start streaming at like 8 or 9 p.m. and stream for like 4 hours. So it was, I just like got in streaming when I can.
That is some serious dedication to the streaming aspect of your life. Are you still working at the cardiac unit?
No, I actually said deuces this April. It was like after COVID, we didn't get raises. They kept putting more and more on us. And just the way that they talked to me and the other employees, I was like, yeah, you may be like our superior, like our manager, but like we're not pathetic, like prisoners. You don't like need to talk to us like that. It was just, it was rude. They were rude. And I was like, I had enough. I literally had enough and put in my 2 weeks notice in April.
Okay. So you left in April. It's June. So you've been on your own for a couple of, wait a minute. Not on your own. You've left that. You've been out of that job for 2 months. So I'm sure that your success as a streamer has helped with that, right?
It did, but also I don't want to flex, but I had like money saved.
Whoa,
so
whoa! You saved money? Holy crap! Look at you being
I'm gonna lower it out here. I had over $31,000 in my saving accounts.
I just want to say this, that when I grow up, I want to be like you. I want to be able to
thank you.
save money. Okay, so I mean, there's a lot there. You have 3 kids, single mom. You don't necessarily have the support 24/7 that you would have if you were in a relationship where you saw each other every day.
Yeah.
And
I have to hang my own stuff on the walls, uneven.
Well,
Throwing that out there.
And to top that off, I mean, if there's a jar in the kitchen that is really hard to open, there isn't anybody to go, hey, would you open this?
You just, true story, you get a knife and you just hit the jar a couple times around the outside and then you can open it.
Okay, well, but I mean, things like that where you're like, hey, this is, would you open this?
I know, like, I want to be independent, but there is sometimes I'm just like, wish I was living with a man sometimes. But then I'm like, I look and I was like, oh, I could have stuff the way I want it. But then, yeah.
And, okay, so there's a lot there. And, okay, I won't specifically ask how old you are because that's not really a nice
29 forever.
Okay, great question. So you were always 29 for the next 40-something years, correct? Okay.
Correct.
But, I mean, these are lessons in your life that some people, when they experience them, it causes them to get frozen at a moment in time where they felt like they were a failure, where they felt like, I can't do this on my own, where, it's like, I'm not strong enough in this moment to deal with all this crap that I have. What was it for you that you're like, okay, I did this poorly, but I'm going to get up the next day and I'm going to keep trying and I'm going to keep growing? And I guess the easiest way to ask this question is, how did you get so resilient?
Fine.
Okay.
No, like I still have those moments where I wake up and like I freak out. I have anxiety. I'm sweating. I so I still have those moments where I think I'm a failure. I suck. Like, what's going on? I don't know what I'm doing. I should just quit. I should just give up. But then like I am the most stubborn motherfucker on the planet. So I'm even stubborn against myself. So it's like, okay, I have to go on. I have to.
Okay. And
wine.
And wine. Okay. And I can neither confirm nor deny that, watching you on stream and having watched you consume certain amounts of wine. I mean, I can neither confirm nor deny that. So when it comes to your streaming career, I mean, you've obviously played a lot of games. You've decided that you're a variety streamer. You stream. I watch you stream Outriders, and various other games. Why? What is it about Destiny 2?
Into Destiny 1, period. I didn't know about even Halo. Like, I knew about Halo when I was like in the Call of Duty stages.
Okay.
Like, I knew about Halo, and like I was like, Call of Duty and Halo people didn't like match. It was back in the Xbox 360 days. It's a long story. So I didn't even find out about like Destiny until like one of my coworkers like religiously bugged me. Like, he would open his phone and be like, hey, what about this shader? What about this shader? How about this shader? Oh, what about this cloak? What about this armor? I'm like, Adam, shut up. I don't care. And then the Bungie website, what about this shirt? What about this shirt? Does this shirt look cool? I was like, that looks like a cock. The Bungie symbol. I was like, that looks like a cock and balls. Why would you want cock and balls on your shirt? And then he would talk about raids. I even made a meme, like, when like Tony Stark, he goes like this and he like rolls his eyes meme.
Yes.
I was like, when Adam mentions Destiny raids, like I was so sick of him like talking to me about Destiny at work. And then I guess Destiny 2 came out 2017.
Right.
I was getting my kids an Xbox, or Santa was getting my kids an Xbox for Christmas, and I was like, I kind of want to get back in it. So I was like, should I buy Destiny 2 for Christmas? And he's like, yeah. and then boom. That's how Destiny is.
See, and that's an interesting way to put it. It's like you were. It was basically like a religious conversion. What about this scripture? What about this scripture? Oh, what do you think about this scripture versus what's happening there? You're like, shut up and leave me alone. I don't care. Now all of a sudden you're like
really.
you're like, oh God, here they are again. The Jehovah's Witnesses are at my door. No, fine, I'll take your pamphlet. Go away. Thank you very much. Right?
I just don't like I'll give them water if they want to.
Right.
Because they're in there like they're suit and ties.
Right.
On a bike in the middle of summer. Like that's some dedication though.
And it is. I agree. So okay, so you play Destiny 2 because you were a converted. What is it about Outriders though? Because I've seen you play Outriders. I played it a little bit and I'm like, in general, I'm not a fan of third-person shooters. The way you aim and move feels really goofy to me sometimes when it comes to third-person shooters. So what is it about Outriders for you?
Like, because it was like AKA Destiny Killer. So okay. I even tried the AKA Anthem Destiny Killer one time. I was just trying it. It was a new game, and like I think Destiny was like, because they expanded the season, so it was kind of like slowing down at that point a little bit. Right. Because at the end of the seasons, it slows down. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'll just try this, and like I think it was more like I started off with a good group. You can have a fire team of 3. Mm-hmm. So I started off with a good group that made it fun. So I think that's like if you have a good group, like the fundament to make fire teams fun and more games fun, because also we have community events like Sea of Thieves, not just Destiny related, and it's fun because you're with a good group. Okay. But that was my first third-person shooter, so I'm like I had no idea. So it's kind of like Destiny, just third-person shooter to me.
Okay. I played Outriders, and I'm like, okay, decent story, decent graphics. Okay, happy. I get it, but for me, coming from Call of Duty, zombies, playing a lot of that stuff, getting in. For me, the transition to play Destiny 2 was pretty easy. I was used to the feel of the screen and making sure that your loadout is correct. But the feel of the screen for me in Outriders and the fight style was just like it was too much of a switch. It's also part of the reason. I mean, I actually put in some serious hours into Anthem, trying to figure it out, trying to get the vibe. And I understand why people loved it initially, but then it kind of fell on its face because there are some definite problems. But there's some movement issues in Anthem for me too that didn't make sense. And so when I tried to play Outriders, it was the same thing. It's like, this doesn't feel, and at that time for me, I didn't want to relearn how to move in a third-person shooter for me. So I always thought that was interesting. So specifically for your stream, and this is going to probably sound horrible when I say it, but for your streaming career, you deal with things differently than I do. You face different issues than I do because you are female and I'm not. Well, yeah. And so I mean, talk to me about some of those things when you went from Xbox console world switching over to PC, dealing with, I'm sure people would say horrible things at times in chat when your kids would show up on stream, right?
Oh, well, no, they love my kids. Like, cause like I've had no issues. Like for my birthday, I had my middle child pie me in the face, but they're rarely on stream. Like I said, I tried to schedule cause this is kind of a job. So I was trying to schedule more of it without my kids, but yeah, it's easier for females in some aspects, but then it's harder because I got why are you enjoying a video game and not in the kitchen?
Yeah, duh, right?
I was like, well, the kitchen's hot, bro.
Well, yeah, it's like why would I be in the kitchen when I can just order takeout, right?
Yeah, there's no RGB in my kitchen. And then like you get the gross things like I would drag my nutsack across broken glass just to smell your farts.
Wow. Okay.
Which I mean, it's a compliment, I guess, but I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah. That's. Yeah. I guess you could take it as a compliment. But like, why would somebody ruin their nutsack? Like that would hurt a lot. You know.
And I was like, and then I'm a lady. I don't fart, so they'd be disappointed.
Well, yeah, duh. I mean, okay. And then, okay, so kids. So have your kids figured out that you're a big time a streamer?
Yeah, we're gonna do the quotes big time. Yeah, they know. Like I've bought them like it's CrzyT merch. I bought them all their individual shirts.
Okay.
My kids have Twitch accounts, so sometimes they'll come and chat and just say hi. My oldest, I'll be like, hey, Kaylin, guess what? I have over 2,000 followers on Twitch now. Will you watch me? And she's like, how many YouTube subscribers do you have? 38. Well, Mr. Beast has like 50 million. Fair enough. So you go watch Mr. Beast.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, you have CrzyT and Mr. Beast. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, right? Right.
Yeah, but I just don't have the YouTube subscribers. I'm like, okay, fair enough, Kate. And then the middle child, she's like she's like the absolute sweetheart of the group.
Right.
And she'll come watch my streams more. So.
So
unless I'm throwing F-bombs, then like, because she'll be at her dad's, of course, and he'll be like, okay, it's time to turn mommy off.
Time to turn mommy off. So wait. So when your kids are at their dad's place, they watch you on Twitch. Is that what you're saying?
Sometimes if it's like not interrupting their Minecraft or Roblox time, like they'll see like a notification, and my daughter, like her username is Danica Crazy. She will come in and say hi, mom, and then probably leave to go play Roblox somewhere.
Right. Okay.
So it's not like religiously watch. It's just like.
It's like, it's like, oh yeah, she's on. It's like, oh yeah, that's my mom. She's on Twitch again, right?
Yeah.
So here's something that I've always wanted to ask people who are further along than I am when it comes to the Twitch journey, and have kids. Have you ever gone to a parent teacher conference of some sort, and the teacher brings it up, like, hey, so one of the kids was talking about.
Avoid parent teacher conflict like the plague. I avoid them like the plague. So no, that never gets brought up.
Avoid parent teacher conferences. I just wanted to say that you are now even more my hero than you were before, because I have tried my darndest to get out of those, and my wife's like, nope, you're coming. I'm like,
you just really need one parent. Like literally, sometimes I will send my grandparents to even go. I'm like, yeah, you can go. They're like, really? We can? Yeah.
that is some third level thinking. It's like, hey, I don't want to go, but I know the grandparents really want to be involved with my kids. Oh, let me get out of this and make myself look good. So not only do you look good to the grandparents, you look good to your kids, get to spend time with grandma and grandpa, and you get peace and quiet. See?
Yeah, that's where they are right now during summer. Because like I wake up with them, give them breakfast. And I was like, all right, mom's going to stream around this afternoon. Mm-hmm. So then I give them to the grandparents around lunchtime so they can have lunch with them and take them to the pool. So summer.
You know, I that's like I said, some third level thinking right there. Okay, so we talked about teachers. What about other moms? I'm sure you run into other moms who have kids about the same age. What do you tell them when your kids say, yeah, my mom streams on Twitch? You're like, what's Twitch, right?
And like that. Like my daughter had a birthday party and she's like, what do you do? And I was like, well, I play video games. What do you mean? I was like, I stream video games. Like they watch me and like, they subscribe to me. She's like, oh yeah, because I see my kids on YouTube watching other people play the games. I was like, yeah. And then, with the people with the money, it's like a subscription. And like also get donations and stuff. So that's what I do. And she's like blown away. And then mostly it's the dads that are like, oh, what kind of setup do you have? So it's like show my setup with the RGBs and everything. Mm-hmm. So the dads are more like aware of what I do. The moms are just like kind of like, you can do that?
Okay, that's an interesting. It's really interesting the way you put that. It's like the dads are more interested not in what you do, but like, oh, how much did you spend on your setup? What kind of graphics card do you have? Do you have a 3070? Do you have a 3090? Things like, and you get in these conversations, and then these moms see this single mom talking to their husbands, like, what are they talking about?
But we try to get them in the conversation. I don't try
okay.
to like leave moms alone because I feel I'm socially like I'm an introvert. Like it doesn't seem like it, but like if I don't know people, I'm just like
Okay. So
like
okay.
yeah.
So
I get them all involved.
okay, that's always. So are you socially introverted because you're concerned what the uneducated public will think about the whole crazy side of CrzyT?
If like we like click, if it's like easy for me to come out and click, then like I don't mind. It's just like I've never like I've been more like quality over quantity over the people that I'm friends with and hang out with in public. Like I literally really have one friend that I hang out with, and that's like maybe once every couple months.
That's okay. And okay, when it's funny that you say that because I'm the same way. I normally hang out with just a few people because I have learned over time that I cannot stand stupidity for the sake of stupidity. I mean, there's one thing if you don't understand, but there's another thing if you're just being an idiot for the sake of being it. So for you've chosen, like, I have a couple friends, but most of the people that I hang out with are online. Is that a result of some things in your life, or what?
And like, cause I guess we're gonna go young enough that I grew up at a time where we had AOL 3.0, 3.1, 4.0. So there's always been chat rooms, and so like on there, so I would be in the chat room socializing, changing my colors, doing sound clips you could do in the chat rooms.
Right.
And then they had AIM, and then Yahoo Instant Messenger, Hotmail Instant Messenger. So you talk to your friends, because I don't think we had really cell phones yet.
No,
so that came out first. So you could talk to your friends. Oh, what's your AIM screen name? And so I've been in the generation where we had video games, where we had the internet, and then the cell phones came off, and then they had like games on there, and it's just so I think it was like the whole growing up in that generation. I mean, I played sports. I had sports teams. I had birthday parties, but I just didn't like anybody.
I get the impression that you and I are kind of from the same generation, talking about AOL. My first internet experience was on AOL dial-up. You had to make sure you put *9 in front of the phone number, because if you didn't and your phone line had call waiting and somebody called, it would kick you off the line, right?
Yeah, and then I'm trying to when I get offline or you get off the phone, dial-up.
Right.
Dial-up was amazing.
Dial-up. You've got mail. Yes, I do.
That was like the best sound ever. You got mail. I'm important. And it's spam. They had spam back in the day too. Still.
They had spam and no spam filters, right?
Yeah, no filters and yeah.
So okay, so your oldest child is 12. You have 3 total. So there's going to be a good amount of time, 5, 6 years, 10, probably more for your youngest, where you're gonna be directly involved in the day-to-day with your family. You still have your stream. What sort of goals do you have for yourself, for your stream, for your own personal growth here in the next 12, 18, 24 months?
Okay, because I thought you were to say years. I was like, like 18 years. Am I still going to be doing this? I want to build my community, a positive community, maybe sarcastic here and there, a little perverted. Build my community because I have a Discord. Like we're trying to reach 300 members right now. Just like, and I want it to be like a fun experience. We have different channels. We talk about like mostly games, sometimes sports. I want them to feel free to like play video games in the Discord, and I want to grow my community more. And then also I want to be able to use my Twitch payout. I hate talking about money when it comes to Twitch, but I want I want to grow enough where I don't have to use my savings. Like, cause I make some, but I still have to pull some out of savings. I want to be able to grow, get more followers, hit that partner status, hopefully soon. It's a lot of work. If people think like, oh, I can play video games and get money, bruh, it's so much harder than it looks. People are just like, oh, you're playing games here. Like, no, no, but I just want to be able to make enough money so I don't have to use my savings or eventually get a part-time job because it's not paying out. So I want it to work out where I'm more famous, of course.
I want it to work out where I'm more famous. Okay. More famous. And that and there are things that various streamers do. There are ways to make that happen. And so do you feel this will probably sound horrible too. Do you feel pressure to do things a certain way on your stream because you're female?
Yeah, like because like I'm not gonna name any names, but this one woman, lady, female, she just posted on her Twitter that she's like, oh, I just started streaming just a year ago, and she's already been partner for a couple months. Like, I love her to death. She's such a sweetheart. She is such a sweetheart. She's a good member of the Destiny community, but like she posts her ass like every other day. It's a nice ass. She has a nice ass. She works out, like fucking flaunt it. And then on her stream, she's like totally covered though. But like, she has like 10,000 followers. I'm pretty sure it's because of the ass. Like, she's also really good at the game.
Right.
So it's kind of like, shit, she has a nice ass. She's posting it and she's good at the game. I'm screwed. So, and then, hot tub stream. I think I'm too old to actually do the whole like bikini dance sub. Let me write your name on my arm thing. So I don't think I can do that either. I am not really well endowed. I didn't have enough money to buy tits. Like, I'll wear a V-cut every once in a while, but there's not enough where people are like, oh, you can be a titty streamer. So I can't be even a titty streamer. I'm really not that good at the game. So I'm trying to do more like, I'm funny, I'm personable, I want to get to know you, I'll say your name. So it's hard that I'm not a titty streamer or constantly showing my nice ass on Twitter.
And I did not expect that to go that route, but that's okay. That's part of the reason that I wanted you on is because you're like this brutally honest person that I really enjoy talking to. And so that whole sequence right there, you're not specifically ripping on those who can show their...
Dude, if you have it, flaunt it. Please flaunt it. Do what you got to do. Set up your OnlyFans. I don't care. Like, you do you. Because, like, I don't want to bash somebody for doing something that I'm not going to do.
Okay.
Like females need to, unless, they're like, stabbing you in the back. But females need to lift other females up. I don't care if they're showing nips or full beavers. I don't care. You do you.
Okay. There's that.
Full beavers.
Full beaver.
On Twitter.
And
full beavers I see it on Twitter all the time. I was like, this chick is straight, like, wide open, full beaver. I'm like, what the fuck?
So you have that. You have that side of the coin. And then you have the other side of the coin where people like yourself choose not to do that.
Correct.
So how do you deal with the people that come into your chat and expect that?
I have some mods that are like, nah, ban right away.
Okay.
So like I don't think I've had people like, hey, take off your shirt or anything. Like I've had like I said, the nuts across the glass, or hey, you're made cute, and then can you show me your pussy? Had that. Bergen knows about that one because he still laughs to this day. Like, you're made cute. And he's like, he's kind of sus. And I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. And then all of a sudden, show me your pussy. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, it just went from like a total 180. But I haven't had a lot of the trolls as other females have had. So so I think I've been lucky because I've seen Red Queen posted that she's too, what is this? She's too ugly or too old to like make it in the COD directory and like Call of Duty, because she used to be a Destiny like hardcore streamer. Now she's trying like the Call of Duty, and people are like fighting her or So I think I've been blessed in that area that I've had a few trolls, but not to like, you're ugly, you're too old to be streaming. Yet. It's like after they hear this, they're like, okay, I'm going to her stream. You're too old.
Well, I can say that I could probably clip 12 different things out of this entire interview and just put them on Twitter and be like, hey, you should come listen to CrzyT. I interviewed her on my podcast. Here's another one. Here's another quote. Here's another quote. So
you go full beaver.
Oh, dude, I am pulling the full beaver quote. You can count on the full beaver quote ending up on Twitter. Okay, and that's it. You know, that's it. That's a very very interesting perspective. I have heard it from multiple women when they talk about, hey, you know, I'm not here to rip on other women. I'm here to do me. I'm here to be me, and this is me. I am not that person that shows off my assets. I am not the person who chooses to do that. I have good mods that when the people show up and want that, they warn them and then they boot them. That's how that goes.
I don't even know if they warn them. I think they just boot them, to be honest.
Okay. And so you have your on-stream chat, and then this is something that bothers me too, because I get this in my Discord, is that you get people that show up to troll and you boot them and they keep on making new accounts and showing up and doing this stuff. How do you manage that stuff in your Discord too?
I've had like one person, like I didn't want a relationship with him, and he would still like make multiple accounts to hit me up on Instagram, Discord, Twitch, Twitter, not even kidding, like multiple. So like, but they were mostly the same. Like his name would be in there somewhere. So like just boot that. I think the only problem in Discord is I have, like when I play Among Us, we have like people joining in the Discord, and then in the voice chat, it's a couple of times now that I've been streaming, like they'll just like a bot or something, and I'll just like repeatedly say the N-word.
Wow.
And then so like we had to like do a new channel where I had to pull people in, so you couldn't just jump in.
Right.
And then so like, but I don't think most of my Discord's kind of lewd anyways towards everybody and me.
Right.
So that's fine. I don't think anybody's like hit a certain line yet. Like some might like teeter close, but no one's like crossed that line yet, or like the lewdness.
Interesting. Well, I will say, CrzyT, that this has been one of the more fun interviews that I've ever been involved with, and it's because you are brutally honest and straight, and I love that about you. So thank you very much for making time for me today. I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you like enjoying that, because usually when women are brutally honest, we're just like in that category, oh, she's a bitch. So thank you.
I am of the opinion, it's like, you know, you can hate me or you can like me. Just do not lie to me. I would rather have honesty. I'd rather have your true authentic self, and then I can decide if I want to be around you. That's pretty much how I work. And that's given me the opportunity to be around a lot of awesome people, because if I'm upset about something you say, it's probably more about me than it is necessarily about you. But anyway, that's just sort of me ranting there for a minute. So hey, everybody, thanks for sticking around and watching CrzyT and I go back and forth. She is a fabulous person. Check out twitch.tv. It's CrzyT. You can see it on the overlay right there at It's CrzyT on Twitter. Thanks everybody for tuning in. This kind of signals the end of the official interview that I'm going to put on YouTube, but I'm fortunate enough to have CrzyT go. We're going to hang around and we're going to do an audio-only episode of GBIRL Raw, where, as strange as that sounds, T is probably going to swear more than she just did, which is totally fine, because I would rather have her be brutally honest with me about whatever we're going to talk about. Head over to gbirl.com. Check out the audio versions of the stuff that is currently posted. Check out my subscribe stars, where you will find GBIRL Raw and this fabulous conversation. Thanks everybody for coming by. I'll see you soon.
Thank you for tuning in today. You can find links to everyone on the show in the description below. Check out Bill the Conqueror on Twitch and Twitter to stay up to date on his thoughts and ideas about gaming culture.